Abomination of Desolation aka Ordo ab Chao. Maybe you have noticed that we are living in a time where everything is getting more and more upside down, twisted, nastier, absurder, and same time more and more obvious, arrogant, and even aggressive. Many ask what the heck is going on. Many are surprised, upset, confused. They are panicking or otherwise emotional and behave in a more and more ego-driven way. But it's all per design, a plan, an agenda. And more we are confused, more we will help the agenda. That's why it's important to not forget what these psychopaths have in mind, so we can expose it instead being victim of this manipulation. The Abomination of Desolation is part of the cabalistic plan from the occultists and not a prophecy, aka foreseeing, aka crystal ball. The Abomination of Desolation is not the plan of any invisible god, but a manipulation tool of the controllers. Abomination of Desolation is Ordo ab Chao, or Order from Chaos. And it's the new one world government plan. It is part of the cabalistic agenda, and we are in the middle of it right now. The apocalypse biblical end time stories claim to predict a couple of events, the ones who are fully planned and controlled by the fanatic religious institutions and supported and executed by the blind following believers. All the twisting and destruction of all logic, sense, and life itself today is created per design. It's an agenda, it's a plan. And this plan involves to blurry and twist everything so people are simply focused on their own little problems instead to realize what the huge sophistic plan is really all about. And this is also why the makers and executors are themselves not aware what is really going on, and because they are just dealing their own business, aka ego. In fact, the ones who are the most active executors even think and are convinced that this is the way to do it. This is the way everything becomes good, and even that all harm and suffering will disappear. A bad for a good, without limit. This cabalistic system fantasy has infiltrated, indoctrinated, and manipulated people from everywhere, in every culture, traditions, ideologies, beliefs, convictions, education, studies, professions, passions, feelings, and thoughts. So we will look into it, what this agenda is really all about, but it's also biblical, it is political, it is financial, it is how the whole government want to implement itself as a one world government. What is the abomination of desolation? So from the Bible, Jesus spoke of a mysterious abomination of desolation as an end-time sign before his second coming. That's why they celebrate that all this abomination and all this struggle. A lot of religious people, they're celebrating this because they think then God will come and Jesus will come and save us all, or the Messiah, or whoever. So they accept that the destruction is happening. It is a bad for a good, a evil for a good. And their greatest mantra, the greater the suffering, the greater the redemption and the gift of God. So they accept that people have to suffer so the redemption and the gift of God will be greater. This is how they manipulated people to participate in this whole shit. And this is, of course, fully Babylonian, satanic Jesuit agenda, promoted through different guys like Rumi and but the whole agenda, the whole WEF, Klaus Schwab and Musk and all of them, Putin and all of them are in this cabalistic agenda. The hope for the second coming of the Messiah has reached its limits. Therefore, mankind must be the helping hand for God's prophecy. Yeah. So, because they are tired of waiting and praying and hoping, so they have to give a hand to fulfill the prophecies. So they don't trust God. They just prove that they don't trust God in this sense. Yeah. So this is how prophecy is working. Someone says a prophecy, it gets influence, and then you change the whole behavior, and it leads to an expected outcome, and it confirms the prophecy. This is the self-fulfilling prophecy loop. Yeah. So this is how the people get convinced that prophecies are true, but the controllers, they are making this up. This whole end time that we are in now is fully controlled, is fully made up. So there are no prophecies. There are plans, there are agendas. And this is the cabalistic hamster wheel. People are finding themselves through all kind of esoteric stuff, or be religious. This all the same. We show that in other videos. It's coming. It's a little bit slow with long text. An abomination is something that causes feelings of disgust, hatred, loathing. Abomination, horror, repugnance, disgust, and desolation is a state of complete sorrow. Grief, personal afflicting action of laying waste, destruction of expulsing of its habitants, make lonely or emptiness, meaning condition of being ruin, waste, destruction from early 15th, sense of desolate place, a devastated or livingless region. So this is what the plan is. And they need to reach that kind of destruction that their prophecies get fulfilled. So desolation in the Old Testament, the word translated desolation, or what which makes desolate, it's shemen, and means to destroy, lay waste, devastate, to be astonished, something so horrible that it can leave a person speechless. In the New Testament, the word of eremosis is essentially mean the same thing, making desolate. Thus, biblical desolation is involved destroying and desecrating, leaving something in such horrible condition that an onlooker is left speechless. So this is part of the plan, to destroy everything, because they think that they have to come to nothing to recreate the beginning of the whole illusion. And this is how they want to promote. That's why they want to destroy everything, because they want to start from the beginning. And this is what chaos means. It's gaping, void, empty, immeasurable space, from Old French chaos, or directly from Latin chaos, from Greek chaos, abyss, that which gaps wide open, that which is waste and empty. Gap wide open. So it's emptiness. It is the nothing. We made a video about that, but we have to comprehend that the destruction, what is going on now, is not chaos. Chaos is when the destruction is over and everything is destroyed. This is what chaos really means. It is the empty hole sucking you in. It is the black hole. It is the missing puzzle in our mind, where we are focused on the little problems, to not see what is really going on in the whole. And we are staring at that and searching for the missing piece instead to look at life. Yeah. Which one will leads us to the missing piece? And instead to really look in life, we get to the system and get the gap get fulfilled with fantasy, with bringing some emotional joy, playing games or making selfies, or divide ourselves always more and more from life itself and who we really are. This is what the real division is all about. And so finally people think life sucks, yeah, and then you die. So it is giving this complete emptiness inside people, where they only have voices talking to them. And these voices are the emptiness, are the destruction, the traumas. And of course, the fear of death is the number one tool to control. Let's go back here. It comes. Fear of death. Both are illusion. Fear is an illusion. Death is an illusion. Lies and do not exist. That's a fact. But it keeps people from living. Life on earth is evil and full of suffering, and only through the redemption and only through more suffering, all suffering will disappear forever. This is the state of mind people are into, and this is the result of conditioning. So the people, and this is what they want to become now with this whole transhumanism, to transform to recreate life from the beginning, from nothing. And so the people are searching who is really in control of the pyramid. And again, they have a lot of people to point finger at. And let's not to forget, anytime we point finger, we have three fingers that points in our own direction. So this is how the system is made. It's only that we point the fingers up on the pyramid. But the pyramid will not crumble from the top. It will only come down when we are moving away from the pyramid. This is the only way the pyramid will come down, but not as long as we are pointing the fingers to the people who are presumably on the top of the pyramid. The pyramid doesn't exist. The system doesn't exist. So there's nothing up there. And to point finger, yeah, this is the Rothschild, it is this one, and looking who is on the pyramid, that is exactly what the system wants. Is the ego. Is our own ego is on the top of the pyramid. And the ego of all of them who want to go up on the pyramid. This is how the pyramid gets bigger. And this, of course, the feeding of the eye, of the all-seeing eye, the me, the mine. This is all bullshit. And this is how we feed the pyramid. So instead to focus on our own little problems, to see what is really going on and not get affected from all this bullshit that is going around, because this is how they're going to feed our own emptiness inside of us. And this is how we become the target. So this whole sustainable goals and all this is part of the cabalistic agenda. It is the real war that is going on right now. And it will get worse. More will come. That's why, as long as we get surprised of this whole bullshit that is going on right now, more we will get sucked up in the emptiness and in the chaos. Yeah. And again, there are no seeds growing in burned ashes. You can try. People say, yeah, you can put it in the earth. Yeah, but because there is earth, it's not because there is ashes that something is growing. And stuff doesn't grow better. You can try it from one plant to another. You put ashes in it. It will maybe take away the snails. That is maybe the only thing that will work because they don't like it. So again, the chaos is what they want to reach. They want to reach that emptiness, absence of life. And anytime we judge, we evaluate, we say this is good, this is bad, this is anytime we make this ego-driven declaration, we get into this emptiness. And this belief, indoctrination, illusion, fantasy, lies, distortion, contradiction, nonsense, confusion, absurdity, distrust, emotion, anxiety, worry, fear, anxiety again, hope, distraction, expectation, waiting for the redeemer of the self-created problems, and everything that brings irresponsibility, dependence, and helpless victim play with it. So we have to see where this emptiness inside of us is coming from and fill it up, let go what is making this emptiness, and let life again get in. Otherwise we get sucked up into the hole. And some people say, yeah, this is a plan of destruction America, of destroying France, of destroying Germany, destroying blah, 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 blah. Again, they're only looking what is going on around them, just in front of their nose. But they are not realizing that it is everywhere. And it is not only that, it is all life they want to destroy, pretending to save life and so on, blah, blah, blah. But the goal is to destroy all life, not a country, not an economy, not politics. This is bullshit. It is all life they want to destroy. And through this, they have also to destroy the fantasy that was created with this democracy, or with everything that people get attached or are attached today, will get destroyed. This is what the attempt is, to full destruction. And that's why train crashes, where stuff is loaded, and and of course the whole environmental, they say nothing about it. But like in US, every second day is a chemical accident with trains. Again, they want to destroy everything. Another point is here in America, the red zone is all reserves, little to no human use, all in red, and is only in green. Look at that. And this is how they want to make it. They want to make the full reserve that we have 15-minute cities. So that's another thing they want to prevent people to go for somewhere. And here, Bakhmut in Ukraine war, we can see the before and after. This is also part, yeah, to keep on this war as long as possible, to destroy a maximum of people, of material, of everything, to ruin everyone. So people have to rely on the government even more. Here also with the fire in Canada, yeah, where suddenly a huge number of fire was going off on the same day, is perfect for the climate change agenda, right? So the whole smoke going all over the place, again, is made. And it fits perfectly for the whole destruction of life itself. And all what they're coming up is this idea that CO2 would be dangerous. Did you know that fire extinguisher use CO2? So in another way, if there would be more CO2, there would be less fire, right? We're gonna make maybe a little video about this CO2, a video about it. But again, it is so much used, people don't realize that CO2, uh, what they claim CO2 is what life needs to get more life. Part of the destruction. Same what they provoke now in, or what was provoked in France with this whole protest because young guy get shot by police, and his mother who celebrate herself as she would have the best day, right? Yeah, the guy get shot after being arrested, and he put on gas and whatever what they claim. It is a whole destruction, and not to forget that just before this, France had huge protests against the reform of the retirement money. So they had over 2 months there was protests all over, and suddenly this comes and everything gets blazed up, and they can of course bring other police courts or even the military to calm down the thing, to punish the parents, because the most of them, they are kids, and so they want to punish the parents. Works perfect for the agenda again. So everything is twisted, of course, even if Agent George Orwell, again, George Orwell, 1984 is the agenda. It was not to prevent everyone for something that is coming. Another story, but again, he was right on war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, and it was even confirmed by Stoltenberg from the NATO in Davos 2023, where war is peace became accepted. This is how it goes. Even in Germany, they had protests to ask tanks for freedom. Yeah, Leopards, they got it. These ones all got destroyed by the Russians. So after the weirdest pandemic in history simply changed into the weirdest war in history, fully agree. And again, this is the kind of war, the health and the beauty and science we get today. So don't get surprised. We are completely in this made up end time where you can eat insects, where the information is what is on Wikipedia. The news are coming from reporters. They are not journalists no more. They report, right? And then you have the whole part of the alternative media who is part of the same system. People are always sending links and showing stuff of the same system. They have nothing new. Most of them, they are controlled opposition. And then you have all the Pied Pipers who confuse people for their own ego. But you have a lot of controlled opposition, and people don't like to talk about it because it is their favorite guy who could be controlled opposition. But no matter if they are doing it consciously or unconsciously, if they propose the same system, then they are controlled opposition. That's a fact. That is not a judgment. And that is not because we want to bring people down, to that people listen more to us. We don't care. We don't care about how many people will listen to us. It is what they do and what they comprehend. And if we don't confront them with the fact that a lot of them are just fully manipulated, manipulated themselves. Only the ones who are manipulated will manipulate others. Another example here, Pfizer CEO awarded Genesis Prize for effort to combat COVID. Yeah? Burla said of his award, "I was brought up in a Jewish family who believed that each of us is only as strong as the bond of the community and that we are called up by God to repair the world." So again, people are trained in their beliefs to do what they do. Condition it. And they want to make the world a better place. So we have this giant status in 21 cities. That was last year. It wasn't so promoted finally. We don't even know if they put it really in these 21 cities or if it was just announced. But this is exactly how they worship idols. Yeah, nothing changed, and this is exactly how they want to make it. And also the whole show business. Anytime any actor or known musician in TV is talking about something, it is an empty shell. And the whole show business is already an empty shell. We have to comprehend this. We exposed that quite a while, and there is nothing behind. This is exactly how is a perfect picture anyway. And so the whole industry get completely more and more absurd, sexualized, satanic. It's only that, yeah. It's only that they propose complete absurd and nasty stuff. This is all what they have now left on mode, and they are openly about it. And it's getting more and more absurd. But people also wake up. I mean, a lot of parents, they don't accept this kind of bullshit. But still, they don't realize what's really going on here. Yeah. They see this like a circus. Yeah, some parents bring children into a circus and they don't realize how much nasty stuff there is going on. And again, to all this pride stuff, and many say the first trans was Baphomet. But in fact, it was not Baphomet, it was Adam. God made out of Adam made Eve. So this is what is really going on. And this is also what we showed. What is really going on with this whole trans stuff is it is Noahide. It is a religious agenda. Even if the people don't get it, they want to bring people all under the same flag now, so they can change what is under the flag after. This is what is going on. So they want people all have pride flags, and then they will change the rules of pride and woke and so on. And this is the Noahide. This is what is really going on. It's not that LBG agenda and so on. This is only the surface. So it's Noahidism. This is what the rainbow is all about. But of course, the whole pedophile agenda is getting more and more obvious also, yeah. But don't fall into any kind of, all kind of stories and things. We really have to filter, because all what the system wants is that we get distracted and that we get confused with false information. So they will feed a lot of false information about any kind of subject that is touching people. So we have to stay aware. So in Germany, they can now change the sex from 14. They want a new law about this. It's getting always more and more absurd. So here we have oil. Just Stop Oil protests. They're attempting to block London's Pride Parade. So now they're blocking themselves even between them, and it's just we have to laugh about it. Yeah, if we take this shit serious, it's not good for health. So we have also these bird strikers. We already talked about with Danny Shine in the video. Meet a woman who refused to have children until climate change ends. Yeah. And what people don't realize that is, if we are not here to experience life, there would be no life. We have our part in this whole life to do. We just forgot. We forgot who we are and what our purpose is here. And this we have to realize, that this is whole part of the agenda. Decide not to procreate in response to the coming climate breakdown and civilization collapse. Yeah, this is how it will collapse. This is the part of how it collapses. Voluntary human extinction movement. May we live long and die out. Phasing out human species by voluntary ceasing to breed will allow Earth biosphere to return to good health. Crowded condition and resources shortage will improve as well, become less dense. And this is also part of it. Yeah, this is also, of course, part of it. This whole shortage, this is not enough food and too much people, the overpopulation lie, the crisis lie. All this is part that people are come to ideas like this. But this is how it will exactly collapse. And even This Is Us actress Milena called killing her baby in abortion a beautiful experience. Wow. Yeah, that is the result of conditioning and long-term climate bullshit, fear-mongering. Womb transplant for transgender women will soon be possible, doctors say. Of course, they will all twist, and having even suicide machines, painless, of course. And then artificial wombs is like this cabbage, remembers on this cabbage girls. And on the other side, they stay safe and home to avoid the whole insects that could transmit any diseases. But of course, finally, we're gonna all eat the insects. Makes sense, right? No, it is exactly twisted, and it's to bring everyone in contradiction. This is exactly buy electrocars. Same time, there's a global energy crisis coming. We have the perspective on environmental impact and land reclamation strategy for solar and wind energy system. Of course, as we showed in the map before, they want to make everything natural environment reserves where people can't live and go and even walk, to put their solar parts on it. That's why also Bill Gates is buying up the whole land. And of course, to claim it's clean, this is also the whole contradiction. It is contradiction over contradiction, and to fool all the convinced people. That is, of course, and is the nature's fault. Yeah. is the nature, and the nature is reacting like this because you behaved very badly. Yeah, this is how the fear mongering is going on. And finally, the ones who will say what is really going on can be put in the list of terrorists. So they have prepared everything to secure the citizen, and they have already their law prepared. So it will come more and more obvious, and more the psychopaths will advance, more they will show their real face. Like now, I mean, China and Russia, they talk openly about the New World Order. And all the ones who was against the Americans, they are like, yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? People are searching for the heroes all the time. Yeah. Brain chip from Klaus Schwab is bad, but from Elon Musk is okay. The hero, yeah, showing himself. And if he is not working, Trump will come back, or we have Q, or we have Jesus, or we have the aliens. And of course, this is another agenda. They will fully play on it. People are distracted in any kind of bullshit. And finally, Ash the commander will maybe come. So, whenever people need a hero, we shall supply him. Simply as that. Yeah. People need someone to celebrate instead to realize what they could change. And so they are preparing, of course, as many talk about the Blue Beam project, but the Blue Beam is just a term from the event that would be happening. The technology is completely changed and different, but ask yourself why they put so much Starlink's satellites into space. Maybe just to make a big screen up there to show us what is coming. And they just made a quite good budget to maybe stage an event like that. People are get distracted no matter what, worshipping one thing after another, and same time don't realize that the king now is the king who is most openly related to all biggest pedophiles. Yeah, with Jimmy Savile, with this Bishop Peter Ball, and with also Epstein. They are all the biggest ones. Of course, long time. And this is exactly the time we are into. It is just more and more absurd. And he, of course, is also fully in this climate agenda, and to give more weight even to this kind of illusion. He is already there since 1992, but he was talking about already in the 70s about this climate stuff. So people get distracted all the time. And if it's nasty, or if it's beautiful, if it's surprising, all this stuff that is going on is all there to distract. This we have to realize, that the system will make everything to distract us from the real questions. So they will bring up more food crisis, financial crisis, global health crisis, mental health crisis, energy crisis, supply chain crisis, and just to remind us all the time how much crisis there is up, to put the ones they want us to worry most about, this Haiti, Burkina Faso, in South Sudan, in Syria, in Yemen, in Democratic Republic, in Afghanistan, in Ethiopia, Somalia. And the ones who they want us really to remember are all these ones: genocides and earthquakes, droughts, civil wars, and of course, the crisis. Yeah. It's funny that they put this in like as the biggest crisis. Anyway, fear mongering. They want to, because if people are feared, they can't be controlled. And if they are hopeless, helpless, lost, irresponsible, this is exactly how they will maintain them in their own prison. So it's important to comprehend that every time we feed the emptiness, the chaos will be greater. More we are aware of the confusion, more we know how to take distance towards this psychopathic behavior, who want to keep us in this empty space. There is more ugly, nasty, and destructive things to come, and we may not see the end of it or any change towards life at all. But we can make a huge difference by not participating and continue to expose all this shit. So others have more arguments to continue. Ego and emotions are the direct gateway into this chaos. So anytime any emotional reaction or ego-driven implication in any of this shit will suck us up into the abyss and chaos of this new world order. The only one who take profit of this being lost is the system. The New World Order is a one-world order, and only if everyone participates in it, it will become a one-world government. The masses will not bring any change. The real change is coming from the ones who really want, who make the change. And that's why it's very important to keep up the little steps. As you say, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So you have a distance and a view on the direction you are taking. But when you see the same tree in the forest, that's mean you walk in circles. So let's discover and not be surprised. Observe what is really going on, realizing what is going on, but not get implicated in all this shit. Thanks for watching.